There has been some major FNAF news, teasers, and even games releasing recently. I'm not necessarily a fan of all of it, however, it seems like a lot of people are. Hey girls, guys, and all people like it is Mox here, and hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm trying to answer the question, why isn't FNAF dead yet? Okay, so quick disclaimer, this is all from my perspective as a not-so-casual fan of the franchise, and a content creator who isn't as involved as a lot of others are.
You can't keep getting away with it!
That means that these are just my thoughts, and any research I find is just from page 1 of Google. I don't have extensive knowledge of what's going on behind the scenes. I don't get to interview any official sources. I hardly even talk to any other creators in the community, actually. Anyway, as we all know, FNAF started out as a smaller indie game, and over the years has evolved into the massive franchise it is today. But there were a few times that I thought, alright, we're done here, pack it up, the big trend is gone, love the games, and hyperfixating on the lore, but sadly the hype is dead, and the story is finally over. And that was around FNAF 3 when I got the good ending for the first time and assumed that everything was done because we freed the children's souls, or whatever was actually happening there. Then FNAF 4 came out, Dream Theory entered the chat, and sure, that was fun, but surely this was just some extra prequel-y lore. And well, now FNAF games are still coming out, and I've practically given up on trying to keep up. So why hasn't FNAF died? The gameplay from FNAF 1 to Ultimate Custom Night is incredibly similar, only deviating a bit for sister location. You sit in one spot, or move from spot to spot in sister location, and try to survive 5 nights while being attacked by haunted animatronics. It's pretty simple, but I love how clever the differences are. In FNAF 1, you have to shut your doors, flash your lights, and check your cameras to avoid getting jump scared and killed. In FNAF 3, you have to use the audio to keep Springtrap away from you, and manage that audio as well as the vents and the cameras. And the rest all kind of follow this pattern. They feel very similar visually, but are so different in practice. I feel like there's a lot of charm to it, and I think a lot of people love that. It's pretty easy to pick up, but still manages to stay difficult as the nights progress. Then we move on to the other games like Help Wanted. VR is insanely popular, and if you're a fan of FNAF, playing that in VR just sounds like a crazy experience. It's hard to argue how that wouldn't be fun. And even if you're just a fan of the horror genre, this is one more horror experience to have in VR. Then there's the AR game, which I haven't really played or even watched anyone play. I'm almost certain that came out after Pokemon Go, and we all know how popular that was. And that was something kind of similar for FNAF fans, I think. And of course, we have Security Breach, which I think further appeals to younger audiences with its fully 3D spaces that you can physically explore and walk around in. All of that just goes to show that the gameplay evolved and expanded into other genres, attracting more people and keeping fans interested. I wish I could say it did the same for me, but I remained a FNAF boomer who's doomed to hyperfixate on a story I will never understand. However, while I was losing interest, others were trudging on through the weirdness that is modern FNAF. I am genuinely curious how it survived this long. Personally, I think a big reason is because of the people who covered it. More broadly popular creators like Markiplier and Game Theory kept bringing in new fans over the years and just kept keeping the idea of FNAF alive and well, while big FNAF creators like Dawko continued to grow their own fan base, which again brought more people into the community. When FNAF first came out, I think it was during a time when horror games were huge, and a lot of creators were seeing a lot of channel growth. I also think it's a bit of a phenomenon how many kids got into the horror genre because of games like FNAF and other things like Copy Playtime and SCPs, creepypastas. And these younger audiences are a huge market, and people like me, who grew up with FNAF, continue to be a fan over the years. Speaking of being a fan, fan games have been popular in the FNAF community for as long as I can remember. One of the first big fan games, Five Nights at Candy's, is still being played today, and the developer went on to be in the Fanverse Initiative. And the Fanverse Initiative is one of the most clever things I think Scott Cawthon could have done with FNAF. Look at something like Skyrim, for example, which is a 13-year-old game at this point, that still has a ridiculously big following due to the modding scene. I loved Skyrim as a kid, but good God, I could never play vanilla Skyrim ever again. The reason it's so popular is because of the mods and the modders. The Fanverse Initiative is basically that, but for FNAF. It allows fan games to thrive legally and lets the devs get paid for things like merch and Steam releases. This openness, encouragement, and plethora of new content has no doubt attracted new fans and kept old fans like me hanging around. The FNAF community could be explored in its own multi-hour long video, but overall I just think there's so many things for people to latch onto. There's the characters themselves, the spooky environments, the paranormal aspects, the sci-fi aspects, the gameplay, the merchandise, and everything else I just talked about. And in addition to those, one of the biggest reasons people stayed invested over the years. No memes, not yet. The lore, plot, or story, whatever you want to call it, it is a massive part of the franchise. Some people love every part of it, absolutely crazy in my opinion, while other, more sensible people like the older stuff. And I guess they can appreciate the newer stuff too as maybe its own thing, because it's kind of its own story at this point. But yeah, but like I was saying earlier, there's a lot to latch onto here as well. I'm very obviously a fan of the older stuff, FNAF 1 through Ultimate Custom Night, with a big emphasis on FNAF 1 through 3. It took me a really long time to explore the story after that point, but once I did, I grew to really appreciate everything right up into the end. I was a kid when those games came out, and I'm still a fan now. But since then, we've got some VR games, a mobile exclusive game, Security Breach, a 2D side-scroller, even a racing game, and that's without mentioning whatever crazy stuff the fans have made. I love the story that I know, but now, like I said, there's practically a brand new story to follow, one for new fans to get interested in. Everything post-Ultimate Custom Night felt like a bit of a soft reboot for me, and so many major franchises have a kind of soft reboot to allow new fans to come in and understand just what the hell is going on. So old boomers like me can enjoy my story from start to finish, while newer audiences have something new. And all the while, the community comes together to try and figure things out. It's honestly a really cool way to maintain a fan base, through mystery and collaboration. If the story were all laid out for us, there wouldn't have been people like Game Theory to come in and bring in new fans, while kind of strengthening the bonds of existing fans. It's like a big Easter egg hunt with an open, pleading invitation. More fans on deck means more people to try and decipher the madness that is FNAF lore. Scriptwriting me thought this would be the longest part of the video, but I guess I'm not actually discussing the contents of the lore, so he just saved about a month's worth of typing. Okay, so this might be kind of confusing, but FNAF is kind of feeding itself, if that makes sense. All of what I said has been keeping FNAF alive and relevant, and because it's alive and relevant, it continues to produce new content. I'm sure there's a much easier way to say that, but funny enough, this video started as me talking about some of the new things that are coming out, and evolved into me asking why these new things are even coming out. Like any new form of media, new things keep the hype alive. Recently it was FNAF's 10th birthday, so happy birthday FNAF. Thank you for existing so I can obsess over you and post videos like this on the internet. And for FNAF's birthday, there have been a whole lot of new things announced and released. Hey, hi, hello. So, Past Me recorded a whole 20-minute video talking about all this new stuff, but upstairs me scrapped all of that to bring the video you're watching now. To summarize what he said, here's some of the big news. There's a new Joy of Creation remake demo that released on Steam. Scott Cawthon had an interview with Dawko. I don't get to interview any official sources. FNAF is finally collaborating with Dead by Daylight. A new Steel Wolf FNAF game has been announced. A FNAF racing game was released, and FNAF Into the Pit was released as well. And along with that absolutely crazy lineup, Scott has been going ham with the teasers and behind the scenes pics of the new FNAF 2 movie. These teasers are a part of what grew the channel so quickly, so it's been super weird to not cover every second of it. I am so incredibly hyped. I'm sure Past Me has said this before, but I've been more excited for the second movie more than I was for the first. I cannot wait to see the toy animatronics brought to life. They're already looking absolutely amazing. That's the hype a fan feels for new content. A few minutes ago, he was passionately joking about how he dislikes new FNAF stuff. Some people love every part of it. Absolutely crazy in my opinion. And here we are getting all giddy about new FNAF stuff. As long as there's a fan base and there's new content coming out that those fans can support, FNAF is sticking around. And leading on from that kind of serious topic, the real reason FNAF has survived for so long.
Was that the bite of 87?
That's just a theory.
Memes come and go with every popular new thing, and FNAF, being a well of new content, continues to be a well of new memes. People that grew up watching SpongeBob might not watch it anymore, but they will send a meme about it, and probably speak fondly of the episodes those memes come from. It sticks in people's minds and leads to new fans, and maybe some nostalgia from old fans. Things people are nostalgic for tend to stick around, at the very least in spirit. A friend of mine who's not a big FNAF fan told me he thinks the movies should basically be a big meme compilation, and I'm sad to say that I think it probably would have been a lot more popular if it were. People love to come together to laugh at a thing. Actual fans might not agree with that, wanting something a little more serious, like what we're hopefully getting in FNAF 2, but you can't deny if Markiplier showed up and said the thing,
Was that the bite of 87?
so many people would have flocked to the theaters, no questions asked. Memes are so easy to share, and they serve as a little reminder for whatever is being memed. Every time I see a FNAF meme I like, I'll send it to one of my friends. I'm sorry for that, but it keeps the franchise just that bit more relevant. Hello, we're here. You were just watching Future Me cover for Past Me, but that is now Past Me. This is future me. I've been gone for a good long while. If you couldn't tell, I recorded that video a very long time ago, which is why I was still talking about the current FNAF news, which is probably the oldest news you've ever heard by now. But I just wanted to come in here and say, hello, I'm back. I want to make consistent stuff again. I have been streaming a whole bunch though. I wanted to let you guys know I've been streaming a bunch of Minecraft stuff. This mod pack I made called Cursed Constructs. It's all about playing horror Minecraft. I don't have all the horror mods installed because I don't feel like a lot of them are very good, but it's that mixed with Create, and if you know Create, it's an amazing mod. Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that, but I wanted to also let you know that I'm going to be streaming FNAF. I want to play all FNAF 1 through Pizzeria Sim, complete the whole thing, 3 stars all of them if I can. I don't know if they all get up to 3 stars, don't know how that works. But I'm back. I want to do the fun stuff, and I'm excited for this. I also have some more like FNAF in real time stuff, fan game stuff, all the fun things. Just wanted to come in here and say that real quick before past me can finish off this video. But yeah, just wanted to let you know. All right, well, that's why I think FNAF hasn't died yet, and probably shouldn't, at least for a couple more years. But what about you? Do you think there's any other reasons? Please let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, get subscribed, and tweet me or whatever it's called now. I don't know what they call it on X. @MoxHarrian, and show me your favorite FNAF memes. I love seeing them. A lot of them are really funny. A lot of them they're all right, but a lot of them are pretty funny. I don't use X much, and I really need a reason. Please send me your memes. I need something to react to on there. That's gonna be just about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for more. Like I said earlier, let me know down in the comments what your thoughts were, if you think there's anything else, any other major reasons for FNAF still being around for some reason, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.